Hello everybody, it's Eve here from Thrive, clinical nutritionist and associate naturopath. And as it's December and we are now in the winter season, I thought I would spend a few moments just explaining to you how in Chinese traditional medicine, we're now in the season of water, the water element. And I wanted to explain a little bit about that, how that relates to your body and this perspective from traditional Chinese medicine. So if you think about water, it takes many forms. It can be ice, it can be vapor, it can be a very still pond, or it can be a raging river. And often water will always take the path of least resistance, and it can appear quite weak, but actually it's very, very strong, carving the deepest canyons and grinding down the hardest rocks and minerals. And the organ that all this relates to in your body, the main primary organ for this time of year, is the kidneys. And there's a huge relationship with water in the kidneys. And from a scientific perspective as well, the kidneys are all to do with the balance of water in your body, and particularly how that's used for your blood pressure, and also the electrolyte balance and how that interacts in maintaining your blood pressure. So we can kind of see how it's linking in. But the kidneys, in terms of traditional Chinese medicine and energies, this is where it gets interesting, because there's something that we call Jing. And that is what in traditional Chinese medicine we believe we inherit from our parents from the point of conception. And if your parent had 10 children, every child could have a different kind of Jing according to how your parents were at that moment of conception. And it is the vitality that will lead you through life and help you with your own health, with your own fertility, with your own motivation, strength and drive. So some people have a really strong Jing, and I guess in Western language we would call it a constitution. So we all know somebody whose granddad smoked 60 cigarettes a day, had 6 pints of beer every night, never ate vegetables other than potatoes, and they lived till they were 99. And then we always know somebody else who tried very hard to maintain a healthy life and unfortunately had many more illnesses despite their efforts. So this is where this idea of constitution comes into play. And in traditional Chinese medicine, it's called Jing. So you're born with a certain Jing. And I want you to think of it as a bank account. So you've got so much in your bank account, and you don't want to dip into it too much. And things that make you dip into it, to borrow a little bit, is when you change the conditions of your environment. You don't nurture yourself as much. So if you're smoking, if you're drinking, if you have addictive behaviors, if you don't eat vegetables, if you don't drink enough water, you're dipping into that Jing all the time. If you have a lot of processed foods, a lot of fats of the wrong sort, a lot of fried foods, too much salt, of the wrong kind of salt, which I'll get to in a minute. All of these things will rob your Jing. Being around toxic people, putting yourself in work situations that you're not happy with all the time, this Jing will go down and down and down. And whilst we can't, in theory, raise our Jing that we were born with, what we can do is fortify it and strengthen it and nurture it so that we don't need to go dipping into that bank account. And basically all the opposite of all those things I've just said will help do that. So eating a rainbow selection of vegetables each day, aiming to have at least 5 portions of vegetables. I always say 6 to 8. And then on top of that, 2 portions of fruit of your choice. So making sure you have all those rich antioxidants, drinking 1.5 to 2 litres of water a day. Taking time out for your mental constitution to cope with the heavily paced and often very demanding toxic world around us. Keeping yourself away from chemicals, and that includes your body products as well, keeping everything as natural as you possibly can. Where am I on my notes? Electrolyte balance then. So the kidneys and your electrolytes are massively intertwined. And something that you can do to help yourself with this is get rid of table salt. Table salt is no good for anybody. It's basically got sodium and chloride in it, and that's it. And it can cause problems. It can make the body acidic. It can cause cardiovascular problems, all sorts of problems. Switch instead to either Himalayan salt, or I personally favour Celtic sea salt. You know, evolutionary wise, we came from the sea. We're very aligned with the minerals from the sea, and Celtic sea salt kind of matches all that perspective. But the great thing about it is it has the whole plethora of minerals that are beneficial to health in them, not just sodium and chloride. It has a large amount of magnesium in it, which is really great at calming the nervous system and lowering stress, amongst so many other things. And something that you can do with Celtic sea salt, because unless you have buckets full of it, you're not really going to need to worry about how much you're having. This is what I do. I encourage my clients to do when you're drinking water, just have it slightly warm. The kidneys prefer warmth. And just put the tiniest few grains of Celtic sea salt in your water, and it's like you're having electrolytes throughout the day, and it's giving you a boost. So the kidneys then, in terms of traditional Chinese medicine, the kidney energy also rules the skeletal system. And when you think about that and bones, and you think about what we've just been talking about from a scientific perspective of electrolytes, it makes sense, because one of those electrolytes is calcium. So you can see how this all links in together. So it's said that people with bone conditions such as osteoporosis or calcium deposits appearing elsewhere in the body, they should look to their kidney energy in traditional Chinese medicine. And then I just wanted to mention that if you've ever seen a picture of Buddha, he's always got very large earlobes. And in the traditional Chinese medicine, the kidney organ, it also rules over the ear. So a sign of strong Jing and a strong kidney energy was large earlobes, hence Buddha being blessed in this way. But we also look if with ear problems, so tinnitus or hearing problems or wax build-up, although that can be other things, but lots of ear problems, we'll look at this whole link with the kidney energy, and often that can be blood pressure related, which is also ruled by the kidneys from a Western perspective as well. So in terms of emotional attributes then, and the kidney energy, the kidneys are responsible for will, memory and confidence. So if your kidney meridian is a little on the low side, you can be more prone to anxiety, feeling overwhelmed, a lack of self-confidence, procrastination, a lack of direction, just a really low motivation and not much of a drive in life. And the worst case, it can slip into addictions, forgetfulness, where's my notes, depression and sleep disturbances. And actually, in traditional Chinese medicine, the water element corresponds with nighttime. So anything that's going on at night, it could be that this element is a little bit out of balance for you. So if you're tossing and turning in bed, grinding your teeth, having hot flashes, getting up for a wee, children that wet the bed, they might also have this anxiety and overwhelm. It's all the kidney energy. So if your kidney energy is strong, you would feel quite courageous. You won't be scared of standing up for yourself or for other people in the name of doing the right thing. You would have self-confidence. You would have a real drive of knowing what you want in life and really knowing your mind, understanding yourself very well. Where am I? I've done that bit. So facial diagnostics then with the kidneys, we always look here. So very often people will look quite dark under the eyes or very puffy. So have a look at that and see if you think that your kidney energy needs addressing. And one of the best things you can do if your kidney energy does need addressing is drink more. We need to be flushing those kidneys out every day. Think of a clogged up plug in your kitchen sink. You know, what do you do when it's clogged up? You pour water down it. You rinse it all away. Our bodies need to do that. Our kidneys are the most intricate network of tiny little ups and downs. I won't go into the details of how they're built, but it's really, really, really intricate, and they have a huge amount of pressure upon them. So we need to be drinking, and I don't mean tea, I don't mean coffee, I don't mean juice, dilute, or even herbal teas. I mean warm, pure water. You can add a little bit of Celtic sea salt, providing you've not got any actual kidney illness, and then you don't want to be doing that. That's entirely different. So water, and then at this time of year, things to nourish the kidneys. We're still in that season of warm foods, no salads, no raw vegetables, or very little. We want soups and stews, but things we want to be having more of is sea vegetables. So seaweeds like your nori that you wrap your sushi up in. That's also nice as a snack, just the nori. You can buy sea vegetable snacks like itsu seaweed thins. They're quite nice. Sprinkling it on your food like dulse, you can buy that in a shaker, and it's kind of smoky, and you can use it as a salt alternative on your food. It's very nice. Miso, eggs, fish, soy, think ocean, think water. That's what we're trying to bring into our diets. And herbs, things like juniper berries at this time of year, nettles are amazing for the kidneys. I dry nettle seeds that from over the summer months. I dry them and I put them on my cat food because they're really good for the kidneys, and cats don't drink enough. So I'm giving her a little bit of a kidney tonic there. And parsley is also very good. And things that you can take for your kidneys, for strengthening them: goji berry extract, schizandra, and donkai. And then lastly, the kidneys will suffer and your Jing will lower if you overburden yourself in any way. So that isn't just mental and emotional, but it's physical. So if you're doing long hours burning the candle at both ends, having a party lifestyle, I wish. No, I'm past that really. Or, you're just working too hard or exercising too hard. At this time of year, you shouldn't be punishing yourself on the treadmill for too long. You should not be putting yourself into this fight or flight reaction. Remember, your adrenals sit on top of your kidneys, and that's what deals with stress, and that's what puts us in fight or flight. We should not be using those adrenals during the winter unless we absolutely have to. We want to be doing things like yoga, tai chi, qigong. And something you can implement into your evening routine that's really nice before you go to bed: sesame oil. If you can warm it first, that's even better. Put some in a little glass dish and steam it over a saucepan. I don't use a microwave, but if you wanted to, you could. Or just sesame seed oil that's cold. Just warm it in your hands a little bit and rub it all along the soles of your feet. That's actually quite an Ayurvedic technique, and I will be doing Ayurveda next year with you. But it's a really nice thing to do at this time of year before you go to bed. So I hope you found that interesting. Let's look forward to spring, which will be the next one. My favourite. Spring is all about wood and the liver, and I often coincide a nice group workshop over 4 weeks called the Love Your Liver during that time, so look out for that as well. In the meantime, have a great day. All right, bye.